Hello students, last day I have explained the syntax to declare a method, which is access specifier, modifier, return type, method name, parameter list, opening bracket, then the method statements, at last return statement and the closing bracket. Okay, students, today I am going to explain each term of the method declaration part. Okay, I've already sent you the notes. I hope you have copied. So first of all, access specifier. Access specifier. Access means clear. It is clearly said that access specifier indicates the method can be accessed or not, or from where it can be accessed. Means access specifier denotes the scope of usage of a method. It is clearly said that whether this function will be accessed from or outside the class or inside the class. Okay, this is access specifier. There are three types of access specifier. One is public, one is private, one is protected. Public access specifier, private access specifier, protected access specifier, or if a function does not define with any access specifier, it is by default friendly access specifier. Friendly access specifier. Clear? So these all things we will learn in detail in the chapter class as user defined type. Okay, so till now you have to understand that the access specifier indicate the scope of usage of a function, from which place this function can be accessed or cannot be accessed. Next topic is modifier. Modifier. Modifier suppose such as can be final, native, synchronize, volatile. Suppose a final. Actually, these are the keyword. Final. If a method is declared with final modifier, it clearly said that it is understood. It can be understand that the method cannot be modified. Once a method is written, once the programs of method is written, it cannot be further modified. Okay, this is final. Next is very important, return type. Return type. This is the valid Java primitive data types. Valid Java primitive data types. It means it may be int, byte, short, long, float, double, boolean, char, or string type. These all are the primitive data type: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean, and string. Means return type indicate the types of value that a function return as a result. Suppose when you are using math.sqrt 16, C16, so what is the value that this function will return to us? The value will be 4.0. That means this 4.0 means this function sqrt will always return a value in double type. Same as when we declare a method, when we create a method for our own uses, we have to specify the return type. Means which type of value a function can return. Which type of value a function can return, it is indicated by the return type. If a function does not return any value, means if a function does not return any value, if a function does not return any value, it is declared as void. Declared as void. So void method means a method which does not return any value as a result. Okay. Next is method name. Method name. Method name. In a Java language or any other programming language, method is always called by its name. Method can be called by using its name. So method name is any Java valid identifier. Any valid Java identifier. Identifier means any name, but one thing you must keep in your mind during writing or specifying a method name, we have to follow the rules of writing and identifier. Rules of writing and identifier. Apart from the rules, we have some convictions. Apart from the rule, we have some conviction. First thing, method name is a Java valid identifier. Identifier means a name. While writing a name of an identifier means a name of a method, we have to follow the rules of naming an identifier. Okay. But apart from these rules must have to be followed. Apart from these rules, there are some more conviction. Conviction is a type of rules. First rule is a method name is always in small case. Small case. Generally, method name is always in small case. See, next is it should be meaningful. It should be meaningful. It should be meaningful means if suppose we are calculating factors of a number. Suppose we have to calculate factor of a number, then our method name should be like that. Calculate factor. Calculate factors means the method name indicates the types of work which are going to be performed inside the function. Okay, so method name should be meaningful. Its name should clear its performance, its work. What kind of work is going to be done in the method. Okay. Next is it should begin with a lowercase. For names having multiple words, suppose method name when names for the multiple method names, when such as print roll number. There are three words are here, but according to the rules of identifier, naming an identifier, we cannot specify a blank space. So the rules explaining that for the names for the multiple method names, we have to write the first name in small, then the first alphabet of second word should be capital, others are small, then the first alphabet of third word should be capital, like that. So names having multiple words, join the words Join the words without giving any blank space. Join the words and begin each word with uppercase. Begin each word with uppercase, such as capital R for roll, capital N for number. This way. Same way, calculate factor. Okay, this is the small, this is the second word, and the first alphabet of second word is in uppercase. Okay, write this way. Next is the first word of a method should be a verb. First word of a method should be a verb. Suppose, such as display result. See, this is the first word and this is a verb. This is the noun. This is noun. Same way, calculate area. See, calculate is verb. Calculate is verb. Area is noun. So, first word of a method should be a verb. First word of a method should be a verb. Okay? These are the convention. Next is parameter list. Next is the parameter list. Parameter list. Parameter list is a list of variables. List of variables. Suppose int x, comma, int y, comma, int z, comma, double x, like that. Double A. List of variables separated by comma. List of variables separated by comma. Then what is the uses of these parameters? These parameters are used to accept the values. Accept the values. These values are coming from the caller function. These values are coming from the caller function. So, parameters are the variables, list of variables separated by comma with their data type, with their respective data type. These variables accept the values from the caller function, and using these values, this method perform the further work. Okay, so this is the parameter list. At last, return statement. Return statement. Return statement give back, or you can say return back the result or output of function. To whom? This return statement give back, or you can say return back the result or output of a function to its caller function. To its caller function. Return statement give back or return back the result or output of a function to its caller function. So there are some conditions of using return statement. First condition is it is applied at the end of a method. Suppose we are doing a method, return statement is used as the last statement. Return statement is used as the last statement because after return statement, this part cannot be executed. So we can say that the return is a function terminator. Return is act as function terminator. Acts as function terminator. Second one is No statement in the method can be executed after the return statement. After return statement is executed, when this statement is executed, no statement will be executed after the return statement. Okay, no statement will be executed after the return statement. This is the second condition. Third one is, it can only return a single value from a method to its caller. Single value. Suppose int m, example is given in your notes. See that notes, int s equal to 0, p equal to 0. Int s equal to 0, p equal to 0, int s equal to 0, p equal to 0. S equal to m plus n, return s comma p, and p equal to m into n, or m minus n, anything, m minus n. So we are calculating two values. One is s, which is the sum of two variable m and n. One is p, which is the difference of m and n, and we are returning both the result at a time, s and p. But this is a wrong statement. This is a wrong statement, because a return statement will return only one value at a time. The return statement will return only one value at a time. Never try to do this. Fourth is, a method may have more than one termination point. Means we can use more than one return statement in a program, but only one return statement will be executed at a time. See the example. Suppose if a greater than b, if a greater than b, return a, else return b. There is a condition. There is two return statement, but only one will be executed at a time, because the return statement is depending upon the condition. Depending upon the condition, which are the values of a and b, which are the values of a and b. If this condition is true, means value of a is greater than value of b, then this function will return a. If this function becomes false, means values of a is not greater than value of b, then it comes to the else part and return b. So more than one return statement can be there, but only one return statement will be executed at a time. Okay, and the last condition is, but it is very important. See, we have a return type. Return type means the types of value that a function will return to its caller, and return statement sends back the result to its caller function. So suppose if a return type is int, means integer. Return type is specified as int, means the function returns integer value as a result, and we are returning from here a double value. So it is wrong. It cannot be possible. Therefore, the return statement, the types of value returned by a return statement must be same as the return type specified at the time of function declaration. Is it clear? So these are the terms related to the function declaration. Next is how to define a method. How to define a method. There are three ways. First is defining a method or function without return type. Without return type, and without return type and without parameter list. Means the function which we are going to define is will not return any value, and so as we are not giving any value also, so there is no parameter and therefore no return type. So for this I send you a example of finding a factorial. See what happens here. The question is, write a program to input a number and display its factorial. So first of all we will use the input java.util.scanner class factorial. We will write here method to find and display factorial of a number. Method to display find and display factorial of a number, void display find factorial. Okay, this is the opening bracket of this method and this is the closing bracket of this method. Means this method is over. Next we will make another method in the same class, method to calculate factorial of a number. Factorial is an integer value, so it should be integer, but the condition is without any return type. Define a function without any return type. Okay, so when function does not have any return type, it should be a void. So void find factorial. The name should be same, and we are not accepting any parameter here. Therefore, function is a parameterless, without parameter. Int scanner ser equal to new scanner system.in system.out.println enter a number, int n equal to ser dot next int. Okay, so we have to find the factorial of n. To find the factorial, we have to run a loop int I, and we have to take one value f equal to 1. For I equal to 1, I less than equal to n and I plus plus. F equal to f into I, closing bracket. This is closing bracket. These all things are given in your notes. Println factorial equal to plus f. This is the closing of find factorial. Now we will close the class. This is the closing of a class. This is the program. Defining a method without return type and parameter list. What happens here? See, first of all, this method will be called void display. What happens inside the method? Inside a method display, what another method is called? That method is find factorial. Therefore, the control of the program will search this method inside the opening and closing bracket of this class. Method name is find factorial. So control of the program will search it here. So here it is. The control will find it here. Find factorial. Then after executing this statement, the control come down to here and execute these all statement. Means scanner will be executed, one line will be executed, enter a number, we will enter a number, and that number is stored in n. Okay, so this is the program of factorial. What is the factorial? Factorial is the consecutive product of a number from 1 to itself. Suppose factorial of a 5 equal to 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, that is 1 2 ja 2, 3 ja 6, 4 ja 24, 5 ja 120. Same as factorial of 6 equal to 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. Therefore 1 2 ja 2, 3 ja 6, 4 ja 24, 5 ja 120, 6 ja 720. Okay, means the factorial of a number is the consecutive product of a number from 1 to itself, number itself. Okay, similarly, see, suppose value of n we have entered is 5. Then we have to find the factorial of 5. What happened? See, I equal to 1, then the control transfer to condition I less than equal to n, which is 1 less than equal to 5, condition is true. Then control goes inside the loop where f equal to f into I, f equal to f into I. Therefore f equal to f, the value of f is initialized as 1, so 1 into 1 equal to 1, value of f is initialized as 1, and the value of I from loop is 1, so 1 into 1 equal to 1. After executing f equal to f into I, control transfer to update section, there I plus plus will be executed, and from where the value of I will increased by 1, so new value of I is 2. New value of I is 2. Once again the condition is executed, so 2 less than equal to 5, it is also true. Again goes inside the loop, control moves inside the loop, f equal to f into I, f equal to f into I, the value of f is 1 and value of I is now 2, 1 into 2 equal to 2. Similarly I plus plus 3, 3 less than equal to 5, condition true, 3 less than equal to 5, condition true. Again f equal to f into I, value of f is 2 and value of I is now 3, so 3 2s are 6, f equal to 6. Again I plus plus, it is 4, 4 less than equal to 5, condition is true. Then f equal to f into I, the value of f is 6 and I is 4, 6 4 ja 24. Again it is 5, 5 less than equal to 5, condition true. F equal to f into I, 24 into 5 is 120. I plus plus 6, 6 less than equal to 5, condition is false. Condition is false. The loop will terminate and f will comes out with a value of 120. It printed 120. So we called a function find factorial here inside the method display. So this function display is called the caller method. Display is called the caller function because display method calls find factorial, and find factorial accept a number from user and find its factorial, calculate its factorial and display it. Simple. Next type is